Can I beat Cyberpunk 2077 using only Genshin characters? And more specifically, Clorand. As for why I'm going to use Clorand and how I'm going to do this, I'll explain that once we jump into the game. But first, you might be wondering, why are we in Cyberpunk and not Genshin? And there is two main reasons to that. One, I have absolutely been loving this game recently. I picked it up during Steam Summer Sale after wanting to play it for literally years. And I have been spending way too much time in this game, and I just really wanted to make a video on it. And two, I kind of felt like I should start something new. I don't know if this will continue to be a series or if it will just be a standalone video, but I wanted to start something new and I really want to do something Cyberpunk themed, and I can't really do Cyberpunk in Genshin or Wuthering Waves, and this is probably the most excited I've been to make a video in ages because I just love this game. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the game and get everything set up, and then I'll explain how it works once we actually get into the game and I can show you things. For now, we are going to jump into the Corpo life path because that just makes the most sense for Clorand. Also, I haven't done the Corpo life path before, so we're going to try this out. So the first thing you have to do is actually get a rough Clorand-ish looking character in Cyberpunk, which isn't particularly easy. However, this hairstyle is probably the closest I can get to Clorand after going through and looking at literally all of them. I can pretty well match her hair color to some degree, because she does have purple-ish hair, like a dark purple, and that's sort of close to it. I am going to be trying my best to make this the closest to Clorand I can possibly get. Now, I'm just going to quickly speed through the rest of this character creation because it's all pretty basic stuff. We are going to be turning all the cyberware off, though, because that doesn't really make sense for Clorand, seeing as she's not from the Cyberpunk universe. Although that being said, we are going to have to cyberpunkify this a little bit because I can't just make a direct copy of Clorand. Now is when we need to start speccing some points. And for this, we mainly want to focus on three. That is reflexes, technical ability, and cool. I will explain why later, but those are three we want to mainly spec into relatively evenly. So we're going to put all of them up to 5 and then put one more into technical ability because there's a perk in there that I really need. We can always screw around with it a little bit more as we get further into the game and fine-tune stuff from there. But for now, that is the rough character design and the initial perks all sorted out. Now, I am playing this on a mix of controller and keyboard because I find controller is much nicer for driving and just sort of walking around the world. And then it's impossible for combat. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's a lot harder for combat. So I use keyboard for combat. Now, can we? Yes, we can do this. Okay. This seems like the perfect time to explain how this is going to work. So, pretty simply, we're going to stay very light on the cyberware because Clorand obviously doesn't use much of it, and we are trying to make this as close to actually using Clorand as possible. We are obviously not going to be using a Berserk or a Cyberdeck for the operating system. We will be using a Sandevistan because that fits with Clorand's style the most. Actually, I don't know why I'm already explaining this because I haven't explained the rules of it yet. So basically, the rough rules are we are going to be obviously playing through the game, and I'm going to try to make it as close to actually using Clorand as possible. So that means I'm only able to use a sword and like pistols and revolvers because that's all that Clorand uses, and I can't use too much cyberware. And all of the stuff I do put onto her, whether that's cyberware or that is in the perks, they all have to be something that Clorand would actually use. So stuff that helps with blades, revolvers, and pistols, or stuff that can heal a little bit because Clorand has pretty good self-sustain, or movement because Clorand can move pretty quickly using her skill. So basically anything to do with any other weapon in the game or anything for like quick hacks or anything like that, we can't use that. Just there's no point unlocking it. That's not how Clorand would actually work. Now, the reason why I specifically went with technical ability, cool, and intelligence is because they have perks that specifically target things that I'm looking for. Those being, where is it? Pistols and revolvers in cool. Technical ability has the main perk that I really need to make this work the best because Clorand doesn't actually just shoot bullets, and luckily in this game there is this perk called Bolt, which basically makes it so when you use tech weapons, if you half charge them, they shoot a bolt shot, which is essentially an electronic shot, kind of electro shot. So that basically would mean that if I use Bolt on all of my attacks, it would be shooting a electro bullet like Clorand, not an actual bullet. Which means until I unlock this, I cannot use any guns. And when I do get guns, I can only use tech revolvers, or pistols. Until then, we need to use blades, which is where reflexes come in because that unlocks blades. So that's roughly the gist. We just make this as close to Clorand as possible. I can only use weapons that Clorand uses, and I can only shoot bullets that Clorand would actually shoot, so electric stuff, basically. We'll obviously tweak some stuff as we go, but that is the overall gist of how this is going to work. Also, I'm trying to get my actual character to look as close to Clorand as possible, which is difficult because it is Cyberpunk, and they don't really have Clorand's exact design as Cyberpunk, especially her hat. I'm going to have to run her without a hat. I have a rough idea of how I can get the rest of her outfit to look somewhat similar to Clorand, just Cyberpunk-ified a little bit. So yeah, those are the rough rules. That's sort of how we're going to be playing it. It's going to be a little bit loose because, obviously, you know, we're playing Cyberpunk 2077, trying to make it Genshin. So let's jump straight in this, let's finish this tutorial, and let's basically get far enough into the story where we can unlock Bolt and we can start actually playing the game properly with actual weapons that we can use. Now, I would normally just skip through all of this dialogue because I have already played through most of the story before, although I have not played through the Corpo life path before, so I am going to actually listen to this story until we get back to the bit that I've played before, and then I'm just going to start skipping through the dialogue. My goodness, this game looks incredible. I'm not even playing on ray tracing right now or anything. Like, I have a 3060. It can't really keep up with ray tracing. So this is like basically all high settings, but then no ray tracing or path tracing or anything. And it's still probably one of the best looking games I've ever played. Okay, now we're back to the part that I have done before. That is sort of the first initial bit. We jump into the tutorial now, which I don't think there's any benefit of doing, so I'm not going to. So let's go jump into this first little tutorial fight. I don't believe I can use any other weapons aside from the gun we are given. So basically this, and when we are forced into using Johnny, are going to be the only times that we can't completely follow the rules. After this, I'm pretty sure we can get a katana relatively easy, and then we can just do that until we get a tech weapon and bolt. Now, luckily, what we can still do is silent takedowns. That technically doesn't go against anything, which might be the easiest way to go about certain stealth stuff like this. Okay, well, there is the first little tutorial done, which means if Jackie would start driving, thank you, we can get to the sort of semi-open world now. I say that because I'm pretty sure you do need to complete Act 1 to get full access to the entire map. And that could prove to be a small problem because I'm pretty sure some of the weapons I need aren't in the whatever area it is that we get locked into. So now we are at the apartment, which is where the first weapons dealer is. So I am going to have a look and see if they have what I need. Ooh, wait, never mind. We actually do have a katana in our weapon stash. I will be taking that one, thank you. We also have a tech pistol, which I didn't think we had. So that is actually really good. I will take that. Although we can't really use it right now, it is still something. Which means we can actually play this game a little bit easier now because we have a katana, so I can actually get some stuff done. Now, we don't have all the clothing items I need right now, so this is my current scuffed Clorand clothing. But I do know all the clothing items I need to get a roughly decent looking Clorand character. So I will go grab all of them as soon as I can. But for now, our main goal is finishing Act 1. And if we happen to go past where those places are in doing so, then awesome, that's good. So now we have unlocked the map, which is lovely, because these NCPD assaults are going to be things I will be doing, because they're pretty good at giving you extra stuff. So if I'm going past, I might do some of them. Otherwise, we're just going to work through the main story. That's going to be the big one. And now we get probably one of my favorite things to do in this game, and that's just drive. That being said, this thing doesn't drive incredibly. I do know where... Actually, are we able to go there right now? Probably not. But up here is the... I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Chem Block reference one. I need to go get that one, because it is one of my favorite cars in the game. It is incredibly hard to drive, but it is very, very fun. Now, this is where we're going to get some random cyberware. So I'm going to pick whatever makes the most sense for Clorand. I don't think I can choose. I think I'm forced into this. I think I need to do more stuff. It won't just let me put in a couple basic stuff. Okay, that's a shame. Can I unequip them though? Because I don't want the face cyberware. I don't want. No, we can't unequip the face cyberware. That's a shame because I don't really want that because it doesn't really fit with the whole Clorand thing. But that is fine. I guess we're just going to have to run with it for the time being. I also don't want a cyber deck, but we're going to have to get past the tutorial levels to actually, change that. So the tutorial stuff, we're just going to have to do what it says. Once we get past this, we can build things correctly. I won't be able to do anything too fun with cyberware at the moment because obviously we don't have much money to play with, but we can just go with some basic stuff for the time being until we can get some more eddies. Okay, we're getting a bunch of jobs now that I don't have time for because we are just sticking with the main gig until I can get sort of my base stuff sorted, and then I can screw around with some more stuff from there. And now we can jump into where the quest splits into. We either do the Evelyn Parker bit or we go do the Maelstrom bit. I'm going to start with the Maelstrom bit, I think. Now, before we go do that, I'm going to go meet up with what's her name. Also, while we're here, I need to double check where the clothing vendors are to see if I can snag the clothes I need. Ooh, actually, they might have one of the things I need over here somewhere. It's just where that place is. I believe it is this place right here has one of the clothing items I'm looking for. But I guess we can have a quick detour over there and grab one of the clothing items that will make up our somewhat close enough to Clorand looking character. It'll require a little bit of imagination, but it will be close-ish, I believe, hopefully. This is definitely not really super important, but I figured if we're gonna have a relatively realistic playthrough as Clorand, I might as well get V to look pretty close to her, and she does not have exactly what I'm looking for right now. So let me quickly do a time skip and see if we can get it. Okay, we're not getting super lucky, I must say, so I might only do this a couple more times. It is an uncommon item from this shop, so I don't know if we can actually even get them right now or not. I actually don't think we can even get it right now because it's uncommon. So I might need to actually do that later when we get a bit further into the story and we actually unlock more high-level stuff. Okay, well, there we go. That is the Meredith Stout stuff. Have fun. I'm going to go talk to Jackie and get this whatchamacallit thing. And also, I believe the dude we have to get to the little robot thing off of, I forget what it's called. I believe he has a tech pistol that actually wouldn't be terrible for this account. I don't know if I need to kill him to get it or if I can get it from other places. I will see how my just dialogue spamming ends up going, and that will probably determine if I get it from this quest or if I get it later. Now, this part I believe can require some fighting, so let's see if I can be half decent at using a katana, because katanas are just about as far as I could possibly get from my normal style of playing this game, which is basically Rebecca from Edge Runners just being able to also use quick axe.
And now here comes the big guy!
Okay, well, looks like I chose the path of beating up people. Yeah, this should be interesting. This does negative damage, and I need to be in this dude's face. Sure, that worked. Jackie definitely helped with that a little bit. That is, I think, the one... No, that's not what I'm looking for, actually. That is a power weapon. I need that one. Tech pistol. Yes, please. That's the weapon I'm looking for. I believe that should be half decent. Obviously, we cannot use it right now because we don't have the bolt thing. Oh my god, I am blinded. I am also probably dead. Run very, very quick, please. I don't have the skill for this. I'm just moving. Moving at full... Never mind, that didn't work. Maybe I can't just run. So this is going to have to be a super stealthy mission. Okay, that lasted long. Yeah, this can work if we have Jackie helping us. We can get through this. The katana works, but Jackie is basically essential. So I can actually know where I'm going and not die immediately. Jackie, I need you right now. Did you just run? Jackie, what the frick was that? Get back here. You're my only hope at surviving this. Okay, we're out. Okay, that was only required 2 deaths. That's not terrible. I believe that is the pickup quest. Yep, that is that done. So that is the flathead part of the quest. So now we are on to the Evelyn Parker part of this quest. But before we do that... Okay, we only got 1 attribute point. I thought we got more. That's a shame. I need 5. Well, 4 now. Now, while we are going past this place, let me go quickly finish one of the gigs over here. All I really need to do for this one is go talk to some random dude. Okay, there we go. That is that quest done. Just a pretty easy little thing. Now we can jump back in with the main mission. Hello, Evelyn. I don't really care about all of your story right now, so let's just quickly blast through all this. Actually, now that I think about it, I think there's actually a really good another tech pistol in here. There's like the Lizzie pistol or something, which I think was actually half decent and probably one of the best ones we could get. I'm not 100% sure where that is, but I do know it's somewhere in here.
We'll move on when you get bored.
I think I'm already bored. Look at what I'm doing. Okay, thankfully that should be all of the BD editing stuff we need to do, which is good because it's just kind of long. I'm not a massive fan of it. I believe there is a little thing in here that I need. There should be a tech weapon in here, I think. I think it's actually in a different part of the game from what I've seen. It looks like it's in the automatic love quest rather than this one. And I think from what I've seen, it's supposed to be a really, really good tech pistol. I don't know, just the more tech pistols I can get, the better, because I'm going to probably just try a bunch of them and see which one I like the most. But there we go. That is the Evelyn Parker part of the quest done. We did also get another attribute point, so we're going to throw that one straight into technical ability. Okay, now we get into the fun bit. It's time to go raid Arasaka. This was one of my favorite bits when I first started playing the game, which makes sense because it's like the climax of Act 1. Actually, I think this has a lot of somewhat difficult parts in it from memory. We should be able to just tough our way out, I guess. I think until I can get Bolt and we can actually start using pistols, that's going to be sort of my motto, is just we'll see how it goes. We're just doing a little bit of spying and hacking really quick, sending a invisible spider to go kill a dude. Oh, we rank up. We get 2 attribute points. Is that enough? I don't think that's enough. Oh, it's so close. It's almost enough. It can get us to 14. So close. I just need one more to be able to get Bolt, and then I can start speccing into other stuff. Yay, now we get to hide in a whatever this is. Random little box. Okay, and now we run. Honestly, that is wild in first person. It's just spinning and flying and flopping and falling off a 42-story high building. Let's run about as fast as we can possibly go. This was what I didn't want to happen. I did not want to just have to make a run for it, but we are indeed just making a run for it. Please say I can get in here. I can't get in here, can I? No. Oh god. That went swimmingly. Let's try to do this differently this time. And by that, I mean stealthily. Now, I think from memory, last time I tried to do this stealthily, I got not very far. So let's hope this is a little bit, oh god, a little bit easier. I think I might be cracked at this. I am doing way too well at not being spotted. Like, scarily well. Now, this part's going to require some next level stealthiness because these guys are very, very difficult. Well, that certainly wasn't easy, but we are here. Let's get out of here. Oh my god, why is there more people? Okay, this is perfect. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Get in. Well, now we go straight from a awfully sad bit straight to a less so bit. No, I would not like to go over there, please, actually. I'm gonna stay here. In fact, I know what'll happen if I go in there. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. Okay, never mind. That ended the same way. Okay, great. Well, I was expecting that to not end that way, but it looks like it's gonna end this way regardless. Well, that's great. Honestly, when I first played through this game, when I got to this point, I, no joke, thought I just finished the game. I was like, hold up, no way, that was it? That was like 4 hours. It's not, it's more like 8, but that is in fact not the end of the game. That is the end of Act 1, or thereabouts. Because now we get thrown into a Johnny Silverhand cutscene, not cutscene, little thing. We're now a crazy rocker dude. I honestly quite like this part of the quest, but this is going to be the part where we can't quite follow along with our guidelines because we are forced into Johnny Silverhand and we can't use our normal katana build. So we're just gonna have to use Johnny here and use his gun. There, we can't really get away from it. Once we get past Act 1, or actually we've already finished Act 1, once we get past this, then we should just be able to follow the rules, no problem, but we need to finish this interlude first. Massively oversized helicopter guns are way too fun to use. One of the bits I like about this the most is you can just like basically one tap everyone with Johnny, and it is way too fun. You just run into places, one tap everyone, and then get out of here. Oh, this is so fun. I actually wonder, can we get Johnny's... Jesus Christ. Can we get Johnny's pistol at any point in the game? Because I would love to use it on my main account. Well, don't know how we always end up... Actually, I do know it's Cyberpunk. We always end up finishing any of the quests with us dying. Yeah, that's how we're finishing another one. We have now finished the interlude, I believe. And Johnny is now in our head. So now we get random Johnny interactions for no apparent reason. Okay, now I'm pretty sure this is the end of Act 1, although I am just going to go quickly do this Takamura bit because that's when it splits into two halves. But before I do that, we can finally get the technical ability up to level 15, which means we can finally unlock all 3 levels of Bolt. And we can collect a couple more of the perks for Bolt. And we can unlock a couple more stuff in here while we're at it. Not too much, just a couple stuff over here in Cool, because I want to get to this chain of perks here, because that is for pistols and revolvers and stuff. We're also going to get some stuff here to help with movement speed, because that is one of the things with Cloran. She has a fast movement speed. And we've also got Slippery here, which helps for dashing and stuff. Which means now I can finally use pistols and revolvers. Why can't we skip through this bit of quest? Well, there we go. Okay, so that is where this quest now splits into 3, I believe, or 2. That'd be 2. We have the automatic love, which is what I need to do to get the tech pistol Lizzie, and then we have the Ghost Town one, which is the rogue quest. So now, if we use tech weapons and just shoot normally without fully charging it, see if we do this, we fully charge it. I'm very sorry. If we do this, we fully charge it, and we don't want that because that's normal bullets. That isn't electric bullets. I got myself in a predicament here. If you look at the actual bullets we're shooting, they are sort of electric. You know, they look somewhat electric. But yeah, when you looked at when that weapon shot, if we fully charged it up, it wasn't blue. But when we just used it without charging it, it shot like the blue bullet, which is sort of electric. So that's how we are going to be playing this, basically. It is a little bit scuffed, but it is the best we can do because there was really no other way I could try to merge Genshin with Cyberpunk. I was going to possibly do it with Wuwa, but Wuthering Waves just has pistol characters, so it kind of felt too easy. It'll just be a pistol playthrough. We didn't get a ton of progress with the Cloran side of things done, but we have finished Act 1 of the story, which means we can use V as Cloran with all of the correct weapons and all that fun stuff. If I see that this video has done relatively well, I will make more. Otherwise, I will not. It just depends. If you guys like it, I'm 100%, like easily 100% down to make more of these, but we'll see how it does. If I do make more of these, it will be a lot more irregular compared to normal videos in this channel. If you are down to see more, do let me know. I don't think it'll be physically possible for me to not be up to do more Cyberpunk videos, and it'll be a pretty fun little thing I can do every now and then. But until then, that is where I'm going to leave it off. This has so far been like a 4.5-hour recording, which is way too long. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy the video, the lovely YouTube algorithm also thinks you'll like this video, so go check that one out. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.